You are listening to Larry Conners, USA.
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth!
This is Larry Conners USA. Larry Conners USA.
What we are doing every single minute of every single hour of every single day is working to establish as much order and security outside that airfield as possible to create safe passage for all civilians, including the Afghans who work for us, to the airport, to get them on planes and get them out. And we are not going to rest until we have followed through on getting visas to all of those people and getting them on planes and getting them out of the country.
Well, that sounds great. That sounds like a great plan if you can make it work, considering what you've been doing already. This is August 23rd, 2021. That was National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan appearing on a CNN program over the weekend, saying we have a good plan. We have a good plan. We're working to contact every American in Afghanistan and get them out. Oh, and we're going to get the Afghans out that helped us as well. Now, of course, I assume, he didn't say it, but I assume they're also going to properly vet the Afghans that are coming out. Listen, this is a true case for asylum to come to the U.S. for those in Afghanistan who are facing death threats because they or members of their family who worked with U.S. or allied forces for the last 20 years to get rid of the Taliban. They truly deserve asylum, but we just need to make sure that no Taliban or Al-Qaeda or ISIS operatives are mixed in with them. There's some strange stories that have been coming out already about how Taliban has infiltrated some of the Afghan forces previously just to get intel. But again, reference asylum. See, that is exactly why folks can come to this country, even if we don't have an immigration quota for them to allow them in at that point. If they can declare asylum. And of course, that's what many coming across the southern border are now doing, claiming, I'm under threat and so forth. Some might actually be, but others just have been told, make up a story. And then once you get in this country, say you witnessed a crime and they'll keep you around to report or testify later. By then, you might have forgotten what you saw. The only reason I bring up the border is because you have to keep in mind, we still have that issue going on. State-controlled media does not want to look there. They don't want to look at what's going on with Afghanistan, how bad it is when it gets down to the real nuts and bolts of it. But they are more than willing to talk about anything, still Trump people might be doing. The Trump rally over the weekend, did you see that on state-controlled media? Not unless they were attacking Trump and specifically referenced COVID vaccinations. We got a lot to cover along that front. And Fred Fleitz, the CEO and president of the Center for Security Policy, is also going to join us. His recommendation to Biden, the only way you can begin to look at you're in control is to fire everyone in your national security group. Because the question is, does Biden even know what he's doing at this point? Especially reference Afghanistan. We're going to get into that. FDA did approve a Pfizer drug for those 16 and older. And yet the New York Times is reporting that the Facebook conglomerate, Big Tech, buried a story about a 56-year-old healthy doctor who died after his first dose of a vaccine. First dose, and he died. Family says he's perfectly healthy. Now, I'm not going to say if the vaccine had anything to do with it, but the fact that Facebook tried to bury it and stick it deeper and deeper and deeper and where you couldn't find it, that tells me something. You? And in the midst of all of this, while we try to decide what are we going to do about Afghanistan, because we now, whatever we end up doing and pulling out, it's going to be an open haven. And the welcome mat will be out for all terrorists to come to Afghanistan. Will we be safe? Will the world be safe as that happens? Do we need to actually consider going back in to get Americans out of Afghanistan by taking Bagram Air Force Base back, by force if necessary? Oh, one other thing. Some news concerning election ballots that just disappeared. And also a strange and yet COVID-related story where the order is given to shoot the dogs in a stray facility as rescuers are coming to pick them up. I'll explain. Lock and load. Ready on the right.
You can email Larry at LarryConnersUSA@gmail.com. LarryConnersUSA@gmail.com.